Hi, welcome back to the Mellow Way. My name is Tui, and this channel is all about having a more laid back approach to life. Today, I'm going to be talking about comparing ourselves to others. So, this is something that everybody does, it's completely normal, it's part of human nature. But the thing is, it can be positive or it can be negative in our lives. So, in this video, I'm going to be talking about comparing ourselves to others broadly, and I'm going to give some advice on how to stop doing it in a negative way. As I mentioned, comparing ourselves to others is completely normal. We all do it. I think it's our desire to understand ourselves and our place in this world. It can also be a really positive thing in our lives. It can inspire us, it can motivate us to change our own situation, and we can see people experiencing things that we would like to experience in life. And from that standpoint, comparing yourself to others is a good thing. But I think what most human beings do is compare themselves in a very negative way. And this can be really the thief of our joy and contentment. When we make comparisons, we're usually very unfair on ourselves. We typically compare the worst we know about ourselves to the best we presume about others. The other thing about comparisons is that they can be very addictive. No matter what we achieve or what we attain in our life or what we experience, we're always looking externally, continually looking for something else to compare ourselves to or another person to compare ourselves to. So this affects our contentment in life, and it's just not a very fulfilling way to live. Comparisons can also be problematic because the focus is on the wrong person. If we're always comparing ourselves to others, our focus and our energy is on other people and not on ourselves. And the only life that we can control is our own. So if we are constantly comparing ourselves to others, we're actually living in their lives and not our own. So we're not experiencing our own existence. We're not making our own adventures and goals and going after our own desires. Your contribution and your value in this world are unique to you, and they can never properly be compared to somebody else. And it's this uniqueness that makes the world so interesting and so special to be part of. So I'm sure by now you're getting the point that comparison can negatively affect you in your life. So I'm going to share some tips and advice on how to not make comparison a major feature in your life. My first tip won't come as a major surprise: social media. The biggest social comparison platform that exists on our planet. Definitely need to review that. I review it all the time. If there is something that doesn't make me feel good, whether it's an acquaintance post, a friend's post, an account I'm following's post, I just hide it, remove it, whatever it is. If it doesn't make me feel good, I don't want it to be there anymore. I think it's crucial that we review this on an ongoing basis because you have control over what you're filling your mind with. And we spend so much more time on these platforms that we really need to be aware of what we're putting into our mind. It kind of reminds me of when I was like 13. I used to read Cosmo like religiously. It used to be a little treat every week for years. And when I was 13, one day I got it and I just flung it in the bathroom bin because I was so angry with the stuff that was in it. It didn't make me feel good. And I was like, I'm not reading this anymore. It was like, why was I even doing it in the first place? It was just like a little routine I gotten into, but the content wasn't making me feel good. So why would I continue doing it? I think social media can be like a little bit insidious that way. We just can't leave it there. We're like, oh yeah, like that person's a bit annoying, but whatever. But no, that like constantly is going to be grating on you and continuously seeing that material. It's not good for you. So just get rid of it. Review your social media. I follow a lot of comedy accounts or just like silly accounts that are just funny stuff because it makes me happy, it makes me smile. So yeah, just review your social media. Tip number one. Don't watch the news. Be more critical of the television that you watch and the movies that you watch and the messages that they are telling you. Remember that the news is curated and not exactly reality. So a lot of the messages and ideas of success and how life should be lived are portrayed through that, and you don't necessarily have to compare yourself to that because it's not really reality. These days, there is nearly an industry for every single one of our insecurities. Feeling shit is good for business. So, comparing yourself less means that you're putting less of your money into companies that make money from you feeling like shit. Compete less and appreciate more. Don't turn everything into a competition, whether it's based on appearance or somebody that you work with or more kind of global issues. If you are in work and you see somebody doing something well, just like appreciate that. Just think, God, that's great that they have time for that and that they're doing that well. I just don't have that time for that in my life, or just have no interest in being good at that. Just appreciate as opposed to like comparing yourself to that person. Or, for example, somebody in your acquaintance circle or one of your friends may be very involved in environmental issues and contributing to the world in that way. Just appreciate that. Don't think that you need to, have one up on them. Just think, God, that's great that they have time for that, and I really appreciate them doing that because I don't have time or the knowledge or the background or education to work on that. Just try and not turn everything into a competition. Just appreciate things. It's easier that way. And finally, you are not one thing. You are not defined by your job title, your relationship status, your bank account, your social role, your past mistakes. You are a multifaceted, beautiful human being who has a lot to offer and contribute to this world. We all just want to feel important and that our life has meaning. And I think oftentimes we look externally for what we need to look for internally. I know for me, living a good life means being fearless in a sense, going after what I want and not letting fear of how I'll be perceived or judged externally hold me back. That's really important to me. So you need to see what's important for you. I also really value kindness in this world. I think it is not celebrated as it should be, because I think it is the tapestry that holds human existence together. I will feel like I have lived a good life if I can make other people feel less alone and more connected in this world, because I think oftentimes we live in quite a superficial world. There's a lack of honesty around the difficulty of being alive sometimes. So yeah, that's important to me. So I think you need to define what a successful life means to you, or just in general what's important, because then you're less likely to compare to others because you know what's good for you. And then you'll just compare yourself to yesterday and then you can see your progress. I hope you found this video useful.